is Blanca Martinez Torres, and today I will be doing my informative speech on how to make jalapeno poppers. In my family, a barbecue is not a barbecue if there's no jalapeno poppers. How about in yours? A jalapeno popper is made of jalapenos. It's stuffed with cheese. It can be wrapped in bacon or it can be breaded. It can also be cooked on the stovetop, in the oven, fried, and of course the most common one will be the grill. A little background on the jalapenos. The jalapenos come from Mexico. They are the species Capsium annunum, and they come in different sizes depending on how long they allow the plant to grow. It is graded by the heat, and it comes in mild, medium, hot, and very hot. And that information is from the Witkin website dictionary, where you can find that. One of my few only cooking skills that I have is how to make jalapeno poppers. Depending on the occasion, time, and guest, your options are often open to a variety of ways to making them. I will share with you how to make my jalapeno poppers. You will need a few things before we start. You will need jalapenos, cheese, bacon, some kitchen utensils. You will need a cutting board, spall, paring knife, a teaspoon, or a thin butter knife, toothpicks, food handlers, plastic gloves, bag for scrapings, foil pan, and gallon Ziploc bags. The first step is choosing the jalapenos. Finding your local stores that carry the jalapenos. I like to buy from a particular grocery store near my home because they buy from the local farmers, and they are beautiful jalapenos and very delicious that I usually get it. If you live in an area where there's no fresh jalapenos, and then you can buy whole jalapenos in canned. But the good thing about El Paso is that we have jalapenos year long. Sometimes I have bought jalapenos from the can and used them for frying when I do some of the jalapeno poppers, but that's very rare occasions. Picking the jalapenos is not an exact science, but according to Natural Health, the July-August newspaper, Richard Sandoval, a Mexico City-born chef and restaurateur, shares some wisdom of how to pick jalapenos. His advice is the jalapenos that are narrow and pointy tend to be hotter. Jalapenos with blunt tips and wider tend to be milder. But remember that the seed is where the majority of the heat comes from. I like my jalapenos mild to medium, but it's up to your choice of the hotness. I have used a smell test, and sometimes it can give you a preview of the heat. Even up to when I cut the jalapenos, it can turn on me and get very hot ones. This is also fun about eating them. You just don't know for sure what you're going to get until you're brave enough to buy one of them. I choose the size by measuring the jalapenos with my palm. I make sure that they are bigger than my palm. That also when you're grabbing them, that your fingers barely touch to get the nice thickness of them. These will make better jalapenos. I also make sure that they are straight and they don't have a lot of curves to them, and I will show you why that is very important. Now, preparing the jalapenos is the most time labor intensive part of the whole thing, but it's a step that is very important and you shouldn't skip it. And I will show you, I have already cut some jalapenos so that it can save time. And we're going to, first of all, when you have your jalapenos, make sure you already wash them and dry them really good. I leave the stem on, so I'm going to be doing them on the grill, but it's up to you. But this technique that I'm going to show you will be on with the stem on them. So you get your jalapeno first, and you will be cutting them in a T-way, and you're going to be cutting them through the long side, like this. And then you're going to do a little split right there on the very end of it, but do not go all the way through. You will open them. Now I'm not wearing gloves. I usually don't have a problem with the jalapenos in my hands, and right after that I will always I'll wash my hands with soap and water. Okay. And then in your bag, you will put your scrapings in there. So usually I open them up and you will scrape. You also want to cut all the little ends in there to help you scrape it out. And right at the very edge also, but just be careful that you do not cut all the way through. I like using this little knife, this little butter knife. It's a very old one, but I really love it for these type of things. And you're going to just go in there and scrape everything. And just kind of keep in mind that you want to keep the shell as much intact and clean it out. Like that. Okay? Like that. So you should have a nice empty shell, a little T, like this. I have some other ones already here, and I'm just going to scrape them out real quick. And make sure you have your bag there. So and watch out for the juice. When you're scraping, you can take some of the juice and it can go into your eyes. So just kind of be cautious about how you're scraping. There you go. So now you will have your scrapings there, and now you will have your jalapeno poppers here. Okay. Now we're going to go to the cheese. I like using Munster cheese. You can also use wild cheddar, or combination of mozzarella. Depending also on how you're going to cook this, this is how you will pick your cheese, but basically whatever you have in your home is the best thing. Under a little, in the book from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, cheese varieties in the United States are numerous, and the ebook called Cheese and Varieties, describing by George P. Sanders, categorizes cheese by their composition of hardness. There's different type, hard, they're made for grating, hard, semi-soft, and soft. And you can find that. And basically is how they will melt when you're cooking them. Like I said, I like using the Munster, and it gives it a really nice flavor to it. And on the Munster, you're going to cut them in slices like this. But basically, there is no right or wrong. It's just however you're going to put them into your jalapenos. And we'll put these to the side. Now let's go on to the next step, which is the bacon. What kind of bacons are we going to choose? There's different kind of bacons, and I like using the pork, obviously. And let me tell you a little bit about the bacon cuts. According to the Food Network, the website is the Bacon Buying Guide. Gives you examples of the type of cuts. The standard cut is a 1/16 inch diameter, and which is the most common cut, and is sold commercially. The second is a thick cut, approximately twice the thickness of the standard cut. The third is the center cut, which is the pork belly cut close to the bone and is 30% less fat than the standard bacon cut. And again, depending upon the occasion and the quantity of how I will choose is the cut of the bacon. The main point is the cost of the bacon, and whatever's on sale, that's what I buy. But one of the things that I do check when I'm looking at the bacon packages is making sure that there is plenty of, that it's straight, that it's not really curvy, that there is a good formation of meat and balance between the meat and the fat in there, which is very important. Okay. And then of course you will need your toothpick. So now that we have everything, we're going to put everything together, and this will kind of go really quickly here. So you get your jalapeno and you will stuff your cheese in there. And like I said, it's no right or wrong way, just enough for it to, you can squeeze it in there. That's why it's the semi-soft. And we're going to do that. We're going to grab some more. Like that. You don't want to overstuff them, but just enough to be able to close them up. That's good enough right there. Okay, that's why these are semi-soft there. Now you're going to get is your bacon. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab your jalapeno, and right there on top of that, you're going to start your end. And you need to judge how much you're going to stretch your bacon out from the whole thing. So I like to start at making sure that we're covering the main thing, and that is so that the cheese doesn't come out. And you're going to wrap and wrap, and you can move it around. It takes some practice. And you're going to get your toothpicks, and you're going to just kind of grab from one end enough so that it can keep everything together all the way across, so that your bacon does not move. You can put that to the side, and of course you repeat all the other steps. So we're going to grab this other one, and again, it will be all worth it at the end. And here we go. And keep everything together all the way through. The toothpicks also help when you're cooking, especially in a pan or over the grill, so that it doesn't just move all over the place, and keeps them in place. And of course, when everybody knows that after you cook them, and then you want to just be careful either to take them out, or you can just eat them, and because you're holding with the toothpicks too. Okay. But it doesn't have to be perfect. And here you go. Now the nice thing about the jalapenos is the storage also. So you can also cook these ahead of time. Sometimes if I see the really nice jalapenos out in the store, and necessarily I'm not going to cook them that same day, but I will buy them, I will prep them, and stuff them and wrap them just like this. And you can put them in Ziploc bags like this, and put them in the freezer. Just make sure that they don't touch each other when you're freezing them. Or you can put them in a pan like this, and just put them in there, all in one level. You can put wax paper or any other kind of bearings in there, but just so they don't touch, because the frozen bacon will touch the other one, and when they're frozen, when you're trying to take them out, they'll come out with the whole thing. So this is our bacons right here, and what I want to show you, I already cooked ahead of time, so you can save time. I did this one in the oven. And so this is what your jalapenos will look like. I'm going to put them out here. And like I said, the fun part of this whole thing is not knowing whether this is going to be hot or not. But this is the delicious part of it. Like this. Okay? And I guess we will try this. Delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Well, thank you so much. Excuse me. Oh, delicious, delicious, delicious. Has a little bit of bite to it. And, but it has a really nice flavor of the bacon, especially if you buy it smoked. And of course, like I said, you never know how you're going to get your jalapeno, how hot it will be until you actually bite into it. So thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you liked my video on how I make my jalapeno poppers. Thank you.